We got Empty Void's true and scary power, the return of a serious blast in the nick of time, and so much more in this one, so make sure to stay tuned for that, especially the crazy finale. Now, channel the S-Class hero within and smash that like button if you enjoy One Punch Man videos on the channel and want to keep them coming. Be a smashing blast and not a passing void. And that comment will resonate even more later on, as we'll see. Make this the video you join the S-Class fam if you haven't already by subscribing and hitting that notification bell so you don't miss future One Punch Man videos and updates. And now, without further ado, let's jump into it, spoilers and all. So last chapter, Empty Void was talking a big game, asking about Blast and saying he was about to eat up his entrails too. Bold statement that he'll get a chance to back up in this chapter, but I don't think it'll go quite as well as he thinks it will. Empty Void was also using Genjutsu, which was really hype and fun to see, and it wasn't easy to deal with either. It wasn't just a visual, but a psychic wave that targets your fear and includes all your senses. Flashy Flash even made a fearful face that Empty Void was straight up surprised he could even make. Flash thought he could handle things himself without Blast, but he definitely underestimated the power of the monsterized Empty Void. Still, the speed of Flash did leave an impression on Sonic, who called it overwhelming. He can't pretend to be on the same level as him anymore, at least not currently, but that doesn't mean he's given up on the idea of getting there or even surpassing him. Empty Void offered them both a way to monsterize through contact with the cubes, but Sonic made us proud, as we'll get into shortly. And I just gotta say, as a Naruto fan, especially growing up, I love how much of this all references Naruto, because after all, Naruto is based on ninjas. Flash has more trouble saying no because his temptation is given in the form of a dream. In this dream, he's still a kid and Sonic is still a kid, and then God disguised as Sonic gives out his hand saying, let's build the ideal village right here, just like the first Hokage and Madara from Naruto wanted to do. Back to Sonic, and even though he was tempted before with the power boost that comes with monsterization, he's grown as a character and this time doesn't even hesitate to decline the offer. He quickly escapes the world of the cube and slashes Empty Void to his surprise. P.S. This chapter is called Partner, a nod to the fact that Blast and Empty Void were once partners, no doubt, and now they're about to meet again on not so good terms. It's also fun seeing the parallel of the old partners, aka Blast and Empty Void, and now these new kind of partners, Flashy Flash and Sonic. As mentioned, Empty Void is surprised Sonic resisted the temptation of power, and to his credit, even if Flashy Flash seems one step ahead usually, this time Sonic knocked out of it first. Even Flashy Flash is impressed when he comes out of it, and Sonic is looking determined and confident and says, I told you, you can't fool my eyes. Gotta love how far this dude has come from just being the guy dressed as a ninja who got hit in the junk by Saitama. We then see the dream that Sonic experienced. It wasn't a trick like Flash's, where a kid Sonic seemed to offer him his hand, but it was really One Punch Man's God in disguise. Because as mentioned, they knew Sonic wanted a monsterized cell before, so they kept it simple. The monsterized cell was prepared, seasoned, and then Sonic was invited to come eat it up. It's funny how it's like a fine restaurant and yet you have this revolting thing on the plate. Fun fact, in one panel you see a glass of wine, in the next it's gone. If that's a drawing mistake or a clue that this isn't the real world, I leave it to you in the comments to decide. The God villain tries to use Sonic's insecurities to manipulate him. He says you've been brushed off by Saitama, left in the dust by Flash, and humiliated by that man. Are you okay with that? Aren't you the strongest genius ninja? Right here, he is playing on his ego too, and hard. He says, come, become stronger from this, and let us show them how superior you truly are. It's honestly a great speech and would have worked if Sonic hadn't grown as a character, but I like that even this god villain can't know what someone like Sonic will ultimately decide. At the end of the day, like with a vampire, you have to willingly invite them in, and if you don't, they don't have the power to monsterize you. I love seeing Sonic just stab the cell instead of eating it, and it's all the better seeing a kunai in there instead of a knife. Love the ninja aspect to all of these chapters. Like I said, it's like I'm reliving my Naruto childhood. Sonic then explains some of his thinking, saying for some reason Saitama's strength is elusive, but through Flash, I can see the ideal of strength that I should target. And if I can visualize it, then I can follow it. So he's rather maturely chosen not to worry about Saitama, at least for now, and with Flash, although Flash is currently ahead, he can see his way to that point. and so he has a goal to aim for. He'll get as strong as possible through his own means. And yeah, this is nothing new, this is pretty much a lesson all Dragon Ball side characters have to learn, since most can't hope to get near Goku's strength either. You know, for example, Yamcha's gonna be competing with Krillin, not really with Goku, obviously. Although I'm glad to see Gohan and Piccolo closing the gap recently. Back to Sonic though, and he's the one in control here compared to Flash, who still hasn't gained his footing completely. Sonic says, come on and get up quick, and thinks to himself that he's definitely gonna surpass Flash, but with his own power. And I like that. He actually still has ego, but he's using it to be like, hey, what would it say about me if I needed monsterized cells to beat Flash while Flash didn't need monsterized cells to beat me? Flash smiles and says, I owe you one. Love to see these rivalry friendships in anime, and this is a good one. They attack Empty Void together, but Void ain't no joke. We know Flashy Flash's reputation for being fast. We know how fast he's always said to be. And yet, even compared to Flash, Empty Void is a speed beast. He makes Flashy Flash look like a snail. As he disappears and leaves one of those classic anime mirage after images, he says, all this zest is nice and all, but do you think your situation's gotten any better? He reappears fast and confidently behind them, and now they're really in trouble. The illustration here is great too. You see they haven't even had time to look back. Sonic and Flash are still facing forward, but you see that the danger has just started to register in their worried faces. But then, pretty much what Empty Void did to them, we see Blast appearing and doing the same thing to him. You can tell how spooked Empty Void is after he realizes Blast snuck up behind him. I love to see the spooker become the spooky. All we're missing is for Saitama to sneak up behind Blast here. That would complete this perfectly. But on a more serious note, if you're as hyped as me to see Blast return, then smash that like button if you haven't already. Blast looks serious as soon as he appears. Very serious and intimidating, in fact. But then he cracks a smile and says, yo partner, you look well. The yo partner I'm cool with, but I don't get why he said the you look well part, even if he's trying to be sarcastic or whatever. Would have been better for him, in my opinion, to say, yo partner, you look awful, and then punch him. Because look at this dude's monsterized face, it's horrendous. And then Blast gives him a serious punch that sends him flying. So even though Flashy Flash didn't plan for Blast to come here, Blast probably with the help of his teleportation got here in the nick of time. I'm just wondering where Saitama is during all of this. But one thing is clear, they don't need him here. These three are definitely going to be more than enough to take out Empty Void. Honestly, Blast himself is more than enough, and we get to see more of Blast, the #1 hero, in action, which is always hype. Looks like the way things are going, we might be seeing the God villain sooner rather than later, which I'm hyped to see. After all, Empty Void has been presented as a key to getting to God. Blast won't be a match for the God villain in my view. That'll probably be his wall, and then of course Saitama will have to act. But let me know what your thoughts are of this chapter and what you're expecting to happen in the next one. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Smash that like button if you enjoyed the video and want to keep seeing more One Punch Man videos like this one on the channel. Be a smashing Blast and not a passing Void. See, after that punch, that makes more sense. Make this the video you subscribe and hit that notification bell if you haven't already so you don't miss future One Punch Man videos and updates. If you enjoyed this video where you saw the #1 S-Class hero at work in all his glory, then you won't want to miss my all S-Class heroes in One Punch Man Explained video, link on screen right now. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.